to Questioning Scent with me, Matt. Okay, so today, well, it is a morning for a change. Today we're going to be looking at one of my adventures in blind buying. Now, I don't know if you're anything like me, but I will quite often peruse the internet and look for sort of interesting fragrances to have a look at, and then every now and again you'll read stuff about one and you'll think, right, I'm going to have that. And sometimes it works and sometimes it's absolutely catastrophic. But today we're going to talk about one of my successes, something I cannot believe I got for the money. So we're going to be looking at Oud Mood by Lattafa. Now, I have another fragrance by Lattafa, which is an Aventus clone called Al-Dur Al-Maknoun Silver. Try saying that when you're pissed. And as far as Aventus clones go, it's not particularly great, but it's you know, a gaudy presentation. It was quite interesting. It pops up in one of our reviews actually. But yeah, I mean, I paid peanuts for it, so I was more than happy to try again. So this time I tried Oud Mood, also by Lattafa. Now, if you wanted to sort of blind buy all of Lattafa's fragrances, you'd be at it for a very long time. I think they've got something like 67 or 68 fragrances in their collection. And I think they've only been around sort of since 2014, so there's a lot of work going on there to churn out just this much. But so today we're going to have a look at Oud Mood by Lattafa, and I paid the princely sum of £13. So if you're in the US, you'd probably get it for around $20 if they ship to the US, which I'm assuming they do. But before we go into the fragrance, we've got to have a look at the presentation. I've never seen anything quite like it. Bearing in mind, £13. Look at that. This is the box it comes in. Look at it. It says Oud Mood on it. It comes in this huge tube. Literally, when this arrived, I thought they'd sent me the wrong parcel or something. I could not believe it. It's a 100ml bottle. And when you open it up, just see it starts to sneak out there. You can see the golden beauty lurking inside. And then the bottle itself comes out. And it's huge. I mean, it's difficult to convey on camera just how heavy this is. It weighs an absolute ton. Beautiful coloured liquid. The bottle itself is, well, it's mental. Look at it. And it's like a Christmas tree. It's as gaudy as you get. And even the cap, it's got the Lattafa written in it there. And this weighs a ton as well. Look, listen. This is a huge beast of a bottle, but it's actually quite nicely done. I mean, once you come out of the tube, it's less zany. It says Oud Mood on there, and this is kind of like an embroidered, sort of thick, almost cotton-like thing with these weird stripes on it. Okay, so what we'll do is, I'm actually wearing it at the moment. I'll give it another spray as per usual for the purposes of the review. Then we'll talk a little bit about the notes and we'll talk a little bit about the fragrance. So I'm going to put some there and put some there as well. Okay, before I tell you what I think of the fragrance, we'll have a look at the notes. So in the top, we have saffron, we have pimento, and we have rose. And then in the middle, we have patchouli, we have caramel, we have agarwood or oud, and then we have some floral notes. And this all sits on the base, which is musk, incense, amber resins, and woody notes. So, what do you get? You get a really, really pleasant fragrance. This is quite soft. Just a quick word about the performance on this. This is, I mean, first and foremost, it's beautiful, but the performance on this is quite an interesting one because it's quite soft. It has an excellent longevity. It really, really does last, but it's very soft on the projection front. There is a fairly good sillage that comes off it. So this is another one that falls into that category where sillage is more important to the fragrance than projection. It sits very, very close to your skin most of the time. But for the first hour or so, you do leave a lovely trail. It's one that my wife can actually pick up on me wearing as an oud rose combination, that she can tell it apart from the other oud rose combinations that I have. And she really likes it. And there's a good reason for that as well. There's a good mix of sweetness of woods, and as it dries down, you'll get a little hint of smoke coming in there, but it's not oppressive. This is such I'd almost say a gentle oud. It's a really good fragrance. The saffron well, the pimento's there to start off with, but it kind of disappears quite quickly. And the rose is a very soft rose. It's not medicinally, it's not overly green, and it's not too sweet. There is sweetness in the fragrance, and I think that's kind of more to do with the saffron, to be honest. The patchouli makes an appearance in the way that patchouli always does. It smells exactly how you would expect it to smell. I think, I mean, it says there's caramel in there, and there's no mention of vanilla. But I think the caramel lends itself to more of a vanilla-y sort of smell, because when it dries down, you have this sort of woodsy, vanilla-y smell, which is lovely. And what I would like to say as well, the musk is there, not animalic, not particularly strong musk. It just kind of helps build things up. Incense is there, but again, very soft. The ambery resins, the amber could be adding to the sweetness, but I wouldn't put this down as a particularly ambery fragrance by any means. It is nice. The woods are there again, as I say, as a base, and they certainly help the fragrance build off that. It has a sort of a sandally wood kind of vibe going on. So when it says wood notes, I'm thinking it's more sort of sander than cedar, in all honesty. But what you get is a really warm, sweet and pleasant fragrance. The oud is very clever. Now, bearing in mind, as I keep saying, £13 for all this. You would expect there to be no oud in it at all. But I actually do genuinely get a fairly oudy smell from it, which I'm really, really impressed at for the money, because, you know, you look at some of the designer fragrances out there with oud in them, and it you know, obviously it's going to be a synthetic oud. I get that because it's such an expensive ingredient. But the oud, it almost like, you know, the fragrance doths its cap to the oud. The oud isn't really in a lot of fragrances at all. There's a merest hint of it. With this, you actually do get an oudy smell from it, and it lasts. It doesn't just appear in the top note and then disappear. That oud note, that oud sort of hint stays with it throughout its entire life, which I find really impressive, especially when you're looking at the money that you're paying for it. This is a really warm, I mean, it's summer here in the UK, so I've not had a chance to wear this in the winter. So maybe when it's cooler, the projection may be a bit more than it is at the moment. I mean, we're not exactly, you know, scorchio by any means. This has been pretty crappy for a summer, but it has been quite warm, and I think I've only worn it on warm days. So, you know, if you're in a hotter clime, don't shy away from it, because you can wear it in hot weather, no doubt at all. I think it will probably be one that really comes alive in the colder months, so I'm looking forward to wearing it then. But, you know, just again, look at it. Look at that. That's crazy. I don't know whether it's beautiful or an abomination. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I quite like it. And I generally get rid of boxes and packaging quite quickly, but I've kept this one for some reason. I think it's quite cool. So as I say, huge 100ml bottle that weighs an absolute fortune. Presentation is absolutely off the hook. I think it's a brilliant bit of work. I think it may well be a winter-leaning fragrance, but you can certainly wear it in the summer. It's completely unisex. It's completely ageless. Anyone can wear this. And if you're, for example, looking to sort of dip your toe in the you know, a more of a Middle Eastern style fragrance, this is an absolutely perfect place to start. Cannot say enough good things about it. It's beautiful. It's warm. It's sweet. It's not challenging. Tiny hint of smoke. A realistic smell of oud is here, but it's not overpowering. It's not really loud like some of the Mancera ouds, or, you know, some of the other more expensive oud fragrances that you can buy that have got real oud in them that really scream out. They're either, you know, animalic, or they're slightly barnyardy or medicinal. This is none of them. There's a slight, it's not a clean oud either. It's not like sort of Tom Ford's Oud Wood or Thamine's Carved Oud or something like that. It hasn't got that crisp, clean, oudy smell, which is to die for. This does its own thing. It's I think the oud that's there hits and combines with the saffron to give this sweet aroma, which is honestly lovely. The caramel, as I say, does kind of lend itself to be more like a vanilla. So it's a soft, it's not sharp and sweet, it's soft and sweet, which I think is perfect. The incense is there, but it's not a strong incense by any means. It's not, you know, it's not going to make you wake up or anything like that. It's just a beautiful fragrance. I love wearing this around the house. I mean, to be honest with you, when I go out, I'm more inclined to wear a fragrance that projects a lot more than this does. So this is kind of like, if we've got friends coming around for dinner, or you know, if I'm just chilling out at home, or if I'm doing some work from home or something like that, this is perfect. This is also, you know, dare I say it, a good fragrance to wear in the evenings when you're just winding down, about to go to bed. That'll be the perfect time for this. Really, really good stuff. And again, I cannot get over the cost of this. I mean, I've bought some ouds for less money, or for similar money, and they've not been very good at all. But this one, Lattafa have done such a good job of this. My concern is when you've got a house that's not been around for very long, that's got, you know, the best part of 70 fragrances in their line, you're thinking, what's going on? What's the quality control like? What's all that going on? And with this, blending is perfect. It's just such a joy to wear. Now the question will come up, is this blind buy worthy? Yeah, without a doubt. It's so cheap, even if you don't like it, you'll be able to sell it on for what you paid for it. Really, really good fragrance, and I'm completely blown away by what I've got here for the money. So I thoroughly recommend you don't even bother sampling it. Don't even try and find it. You won't find it in any stores, I'm pretty sure. I think it's going to be airports and online only. Maybe in the Middle East you'll see it in shops. I don't know. I've never really been over that way. But honestly, take my word for it, you will like it. This is a really good investment for £13, $17 or whatever you can find it. Just buy it, enjoy it, and then you too can have this monstrosity or piece of beauty lurking in your house. So there you go. Have a last look. Look at it. Look at it. Beautiful. Well, listen, I really hope you get your hands on this, and I really hope you enjoy it as much as I do, because I think it's one of the best blind buys I've ever done. In fact, could be the best blind buy. So take a chance, spend your hard-earned, take a good punt at it, and have a good blind buy. Anyway, thank you very much for your time as ever, and we will see you soon. Cheers. Bye.